Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. We will study the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the Panchama Veda. Let us begin with the stotra. Tabu kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhiriditam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. The nectar of thy sin-effacing utterances bring life and hope to those scorched by the misery. Now and then in this class we have discussed that these words of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, it is meant for those who have understood the futility of this worldly life. Those who are enjoying, it is not for them. Let them continue. When they will understand that this is all this thing that we see is so temporary, so futile, so then they will understand the meaning of the words Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning. They are extolled by the wise sages, and mere listening to them should bestow auspiciousness on all. They confer very prosperity. Those who spread them broadcast are verily magnanimous. They distribute what is completely satisfying to the hearers. This way, the meaning of the sloka, those who are reading, they are also blessed. Those who are listening, they are also blessed. But blessed means what? Blessed means when they are understanding the meaning of the word. Now, friends, we were discussing about the discourses that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was having with the devotees in Ram's house, Dr. Ramdatta, his house in Calcutta. Now, this moment he was saying, I said to Keshav, since the ego cannot be given up, let it remain as the servant. Now, up to this, what is ego? It is associated with this person. Now, many times we have discussed that what is this ego? We don't know actually. But we always put the finger on our body, on our chest, and we say that this is this. I. Is this body that we meant? How can that be? So I was wondering, when we were small little babies, some people have taken photograph, and without mentioning, if they show that baby picture to us and say, can you recognize who is this? We will wonder, we won't be able to. So we cannot recognize our own body, which was in that baby form, on the lap of a mother. Then somebody will say, it is you, this is your mother. Then only, oh yes, this is my mother, this is me. So when I say this body, isn't that is funny that even I was not knowing how this body was when I was a baby? So obviously, that those who are thinking that it is possible that ego, this body, this is futile, this is useless. Second, is this the mind? When I say I, do I say that this is the mind or my thought, my intellect? That is also changing. So when I say I, that I or the intellect or the buddhi, after a few years that changes. Then what is that I? So this is called Maya. It is there. It is very much present. And for the ego there are so many clashes, so many suffering, so many problems. In the simple households, the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law, they are fighting because of the ego. Two brothers are fighting because of the ego. Two nations are fighting because of the ego of the two leaders. But we don't know what is this ego. That is called Maya. In Vedanta, we are cutting the throat of each other. And we do not know why we are doing it. So if we understand this much, then we have to go beyond this ego to know the truth. And truth is all-pervading consciousness and full of love and full of joy and full of peace. How it is possible? Because the ego is standing in between the truth and me. The ego is standing like a bulldog. And the moment I am trying to go towards real me, and this ego, my own bulldog, is trying to bite me, trying to kill me. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is giving a wonderful technique. He said, I say to Keshav, since the ego cannot be given up, I cannot give the ego. If I give up the ego, then where I stand? And I have to go beyond the ego. This is called sadhana. This is called spiritual practice. The first, I have to understand actually what I should do. Second, how I should do. Third, if I am successful for doing it, crossing over the ego, scaling over the ego, then where I am going to land, what I am going to get. If these are all clear, then the spiritual life becomes really fruitful. Otherwise, some people, they just think, oh, it is peace, it is all, and they will be looking at the sky, it is peace, and in a very humble, simple place, they will be there. So that is okay. If they like, it is okay. But unless and until you are mixing with the people, how your ego, you will understand there is no clashes, you won't understand the ego. And you are just superimposing, hypnotizing yourself, thinking I am a spiritual person because I am looking at the sky, at the beautiful birds flying and all the emotion is good. But what is spiritual life? It is understanding and then behaving accordingly. That is the real spiritual life. The spiritual life, we don't give up everything we are in the battlefield. That's why exactly what Sri Krishna told to Arjuna, Mam anusmara yuddhacha. That is spirituality. When I give up everything, no challenges, no opposition, nothing is there, I am in a place quietly sitting and I am not talking with anyone, eating little and then looking at the open vast space, I am peaceful. That is a retired life, that is nothing wrong. But then afterwards what? Can you really talk to people, mix with them, understand them? And even if there is a differences, you can adjust with that. That is called spiritual life. That is why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when Swami Vivekananda said, I like to go in meditation and in samadhi, forgetting everything of this world, and only I will get up to eat something to keep up this body, without the body where the mind will be, and then again I will go into deep samadhi. Sri Ramakrishna said, fie on you. That is Sri Ramakrishna, the unique. Others will say, oh, so good, he is meditating. Sri Ramakrishna said, fie on you. You are a hero. Other people should come to you and you should solve their problems. You should see that how to develop this whole world. The misery, the suffering, the tears, that should go away. How? Understanding the reality, the real nature of the being. That is heroic life in spirituality. Not taking the sword and cutting the heads, that is not the hero, different type of thing. But the spiritual heroism is understanding the truth and then overcoming, conquering the ego. And then you become friend of all. The religious life is excellent. It's not just somehow hiding your hate somewhere and not looking at the problems of the world and you're thinking, oh, the world is so peaceful. No, not like that. Not like the ostriches. They put their head into the sand and they are thinking everything is okay. Not like that. The Sri Ramakrishna is now teaching us through Keshav how to handle the terrible, the force, the power that has separated us from our real, original identity, that ego, how to handle that. And then he is mentioning, since the ego cannot be given up, let it remain as a servant. It must be humble. You know, in the bhakti tradition, in the path of the devotion, they always say there are 5 approaches, 5 types of temperaments to get attached with the God. Somehow you have to go to God. And what are the temperaments? The 5 different types of approaches we can, they have mentioned in the bhakti scripture. They said Shanta. Shanta means peaceful, indifferent. Now, after understanding the futility of this world first and realizing that everything goes according to the will of God, then the rishis, they became calm and peaceful. Not that just behaving peaceful, acting peaceful, no, not that. Most of the time we see the people, they are behaving half closed eyes and sitting, they look so good, or they are so peaceful, but in fact no. We can understand them when they are talking with people, mixing with people, facing the challenges. Can they truly have that quality? Then only. Otherwise, immediately the ego hissing up, hey, you should not talk to me like this, you should not behave like this. So that is the test. The Shanta means they have already realized. And after the realization of the truth, and what is the truth? Everything is happening because of the will of God, because this is the divine play. In Sanskrit it's called Leela, the divine play. God has become this world and God is giving somebody happiness, somebody suffering, this, everything. After the realization, they will quietly sit and observe what is happening as we go and watch the movie. And we know that whatever is happening is all, everything all just in camera. It's not real. Some of the things they try to depict from the reality, but mostly at that moment in the movie we see that little boy all alone on the sea beach, there is no one to feed him, and we feel actually so many cameras and crews and people all are there. So they are taking the photo. So when you understand that, oh, that's true. That little boy on the sea beach is not alone. There are so many people. Only movie is going on. You become peaceful, isn't it? So similarly, those who have already understood that everything that is going on is nothing but the movie, they become peaceful. So Shanta in Sanskrit, Shanta means peaceful or indifferent. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, the Rishi's attitude, they were realized souls. Then come Dasya, this is a servant's attitude. He is also a realized soul, but at the same time he thinks, as because the nature is provoking me to work, act, let me be humble. And what is this nature? God's power. Now the God is asking me to do this, to do that. Let me do that. And as the servants they do, they are detached to that work. They have been asked to carry a load of the bag full of gold. A servant will carry and keep it over there. They will keep it over there. Now you go, he will go away. But he never develops the attachment of this gold. Oh, so much of gold, if I could get one. then I could be rich. He never thinks in that way. Whatever the salary I am getting, that's sufficient. It belongs to my owner, the master, it is okay. So in this world, I am getting the appreciation, I am getting the power, I am getting money, I am getting physical beauty, I am getting everything. But I behave as if my master wanted to have all this. It's okay. Any day he can take it away from me. That is also okay. The servant is also a realized soul. But his attitude in this way, he is attached to God. And third is the Sakhya. I am the friend of God. So they are not afraid of God. They will be talking with the God. They will be having fun with the God. There's a beautiful attitude that classically, with the classical example is Arjuna and Krishna. Krishna was God himself, the Lord Krishna. But Arjuna used to behave as if his friend. They will be talking, they will be there. As the friends, they are very free to each other. And then come Vatsalya. I considered the God as my baby. And how a baby can survive without a mother, without a father, without the caretaker. Baby doesn't know anything. I have to take care of God. So every morning I come and then say, God, please get up. And then I am changing the bed, changing his dress, then the feeding him, bathing him, and then decorating him. The people will come to pay respect. You should be in time. I am taking care of my God. So it's a beautiful attitude and motherly attitude. The mothers, they feel, that wonderful, the Prakriti, the nature, sometimes give it in the mind of some people, very rare people, a clear devotion, and there is nothing in return. What I am expecting from a baby. Baby can't give anything, but sometimes the baby will smile looking at me, and that is sufficient for me. My mind becomes full with the smile of that baby. And that is called mother's attitude towards God. Not that they don't know that God is all powerful. God can do anything. God doesn't need anyone's help. But their attitude, oh no, God is my baby. So this is the beauty of the Hinduism. All are welcome over here, all type of attitude. It's not the one coat and you must have to put it on, and if you are not fitting in it, we will cut you down in size so that you fit into it. No. That is the beauty of the Hinduism. It is for all. It's like the ocean. Different type of attitudes of the mind. The Shanta, the Rishi quietly sitting. But the motherly affection, they cannot quietly sit. They are always careful about the baby. When the baby will feed, when the baby will fall, when the baby will... So all the time thinking about the baby. And that baby is no other than the God. So if we are taking care of our own babies, considering them the living gods, that also purify the mind. That is the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling. And then the Madhura. And there are some people who like to love God and they feel that God is my beloved. There was a great lady saint in the Vaishnava tradition, and her father, when she was very young, her father, she saw a procession. A person is going to marry. In India they usually do. The gentleman will be sitting on the horse. He is going like a hero to marry, and his followers, all his friends and relatives, they will be singing, dancing, and there will be firecracker and all that. The procession is going on. The little girl observed that and she was interested and she told where that man is going. Father told he is going to marry. Then she told, I also like to marry. I like to marry. Whom I will marry? Just as a play. The father, they were the worship of Lord Krishna. The beautiful image of Krishna was there in the shrine. And he told, oh, that is your the husband. Go and take care of your husband. And she took it so seriously. Right from there, her whole soul was to that Krishna. He is my husband. Then she grew up. She was married to a king. But even then, as a wife, she was performing all the duties. But her mind was with the Krishna. Then ultimately, the whole family misunderstood her. They asked her to go away, and she became completely free from all the duties, all responsibilities, and she used to say again and again, every moment, Mere to Giridhari Lal, dusra na koi. There is no two in my life, there is only one, and that is my beloved Krishna. Beloved Krishna. It is not that God sitting on the throne and I am taking the food, but He is my beloved. I love Him. So going and embracing, and in deep meditation she could feel that the Lord is embracing her, and she is feeling the touch of the God, and it was so unique, so wonderful. So this is the way that sometimes the prayer goes. So this we understand the Madhura. Now Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is adding one more attitude, the system to reach to God. The first was the Shanta, the indifferent. Then the Dasya, the servant attitude. Sakhya, the friendly attitude. Vatsalya, the affectionate attitude. Madhura, the lover's attitude. Now Sri Ramakrishna is adding one more, child's attitude. The child, the child is all the time depending on the mother or the father. But the child is not little baby. Now the child can play. Child like to go for play, like to go and play with the friends. And when the child is going and joining his friend or her friends, now and then he or she will turn and see that the mother is sitting on the bench and she is satisfied. The mother is there. That much. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, if you have faith in the existence of God, you have achieved God. See friends, this is called the uniqueness of Hinduism. You need not to do anything, only that God is there. And God is my father, God is my mother. When I am going to my office, I know the God is with me. When I am going to do this, I am going to do that, I am going to play, I am going to do this. Every time you know someone that God is with me, the mother's care is with there, that faith only. And you will never do anything wrong, never harming others, creating problem for others, or abusing others. And that is the constant control over yourself. Because the Prakriti is trying to pull us down, and another nature is pulling us up, and that is called meditation. Constantly the good ideas, the good thoughts, good association that creates pull us up, and another pulling us down. My selfishness, my ego, my anger, my attachment, all pulling me down. It is me only. And again, when I go and listen to the Panchama Veda, I read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, all these ideas that the Bhagavan has given to us, that pulls me up. So this is called the meditation, up and down, as if we are churning the mind. And when you are churning the mind, one after another things will come, and ultimately Amrit, that is the peace, the happiness, the joy, the bliss will come. And it is not depending on any object. It is from inside that joy comes. The joy of spiritual life. Why the spiritual life? The joy. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, right this moment, he is telling only one step. What is that step? Servant. The servant attitude. Not that he is denying the others. He is just mentioning one, so that will be sufficient. Because these people are egoistic people. They were all rich people, educated people. Then naturally, ego was there. And now we have to overcome the ego, the I. When we overcome that ego, then what happens? He is giving the example of the Prahlada, the great Prahlada. He is the hero in the in dualistic the path, in the bhakti marga. So what the Prahlada? He said, sometimes I feel I am he, and sometimes I am a servant. That, unless and until I am feeling that I am that God, I won't be able to be a good servant or a friend or a lover or a mother or a child. So this Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is teaching us, see friends, it is the ego which is nothing but the maya, an illusion which is not actually there, but the whole life we are suffering because of the ego. We cannot adjust with others because of the ego. We are fighting with others because of the ego. I am persisting on my own idea, own decision because of the ego. But when we try to analyze what is this ego, it is not there. Whole world is burning so many times because of the ego clashed. One leader with another leader. First the World War, Second World War, millions and millions of people, they died because of these ego clashes. The leaders are all right somewhere there. Some are thinking, oh, I am the hero, I won, and another is hiding or killing himself. That is another way. But what happened to this? Why it happened? If you analyze, you will find it is nothing but the ego clashes. And when you try to go deeper to analyze and understand what is this ego, it is not there. Nothing is there. It's just superimposition, imagination. It is not the body, it is not the mind. Then what is it? A conception, an idea. Bhranta dharana. In Sanskrit they say Bhranta is a completely wrong dharana idea. So this ego we have to overcome, but it is there. That is very practically it is there. And we have to overcome the ego. How? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said to Keshav Chandra Sen that you must take the attitude of a servant. Whatever I am doing, I am giving. He was a very famous orator. The thousands of people used to come to listen to him. So naturally ego was there. And they're clapping, people are clapping, the ego is functioning. But who are you? What you are telling? Is it your own word? You have read from the books, and those words have come down from the realized souls. You just memorize those and putting it beautifully with the words. And you are taking the credit, and you are taking the claps, and you are patting your own back, thinking I am so and so. And you are going away from God. So this he taught, and to captain, the captain was sitting over there, he said, when a man attains the knowledge of Brahman, he shows certain characteristics. Now he is mentioning, most of the time we are deluded, deceived. Some people enacting as a holy soul. We don't understand them. They are half-eyed, not talking, constantly looking at the sky, or sometimes saying very softly something, and we think, oh, the great soul, great soul. So I'm not doubting there may be great soul, but what are the significant, the characteristics of those great souls? That Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning in the Bhagavata, the state of a child. Very simple, no ego at all. And most of the time these people, they won't talk, they won't mix, they won't look at anyone, and then naturally, the human curiosity, if you are easily available, people won't come to you. And if you are not easily available, people will run after you. There are the Belur Math. the unique place, the most holy place. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharadamani Devi, Swami Vivekananda, then the Raja Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda, all the giants of spirituality, they all lived over there and their memories are over there. But we like to go to a very remote corner and we'll be walking for 7 days. Then on the back of a mule we are going over there, and after falling on the back then we have broken my leg, and then there is no food, and after coming back we are so happy. We went to the remotest part to have the spirituality. What spirituality? Now I have broken my leg. What is this? I am just joking. But be blessed, that is okay. But how it is? The spirituality has nothing to do with the body, nothing to do with the food, nothing to do with the dress, nothing to do with the place. Spirituality is nothing but clear understanding. And that you can do anywhere, in any dress, in any time. So that spirituality is there in the pages, in the teachings of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Friends, don't think that as because I am a member of the Ramakrishna mission and I am following the ideology of Sri Ramakrishna, he is my God, I am again and again propagating. Not like that. You just open your heart and read the book and you will find all different types of problems in the spiritual life. Everything has been explained by Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. At this moment, we are really handling the most difficult part of the spiritual life, the ego. If there is no ego, there is no you, there is no God, it is one. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna himself, in another, we have already read and we will be reading again. He is repeating again and again so that it goes into our mind, deep into our mind. He said, one day Sri Ramachandra was walking and then Lakshmana, he was also following Sri Rama. In between Rama and Lakshmana, there was Sita. And Lakshmana could not see the Rama. He was just in front of him, but in between Sita was there. Giving this example, not that Sita was the Maya, just as because Sita was there, though he was not very far, still Lakshmana could not see Rama. In another place, when the writer of this conversation, Master Mahashaya, Sri Mahendranath Gupta, when he asked, Sir, can one see God? The Sri Ramakrishna immediately took a piece of cloth and hold between the two. They were sitting face to face. Then he hold that piece of cloth. And can you see me? No, how can I? Why not? Because the piece of cloth. And that is Maya. That is ego. The ego is a curtain that takes us far away from the God. Whenever the success is coming, oh, I have done, it is I have done. And when the failure is coming, God is actually not helping me. Then we always blame God when we are failure. But do we say that it is God only? That when I am successful, and all these successful businessmen, if you go and ask them, Sir, whom you will give the credit for your success? He is a multi-billionaire. And just because he is telling, oh, you are fired, thousands of people, they lost their jobs, like that. And he is doing on. And go and ask him, it is me, it is me, it is me. And who are you? So friends, in the whole spiritual life, this truth, this secret, when we understand everything. But should we have to give up everything and become a jellyfish existence? Just lying down somewhere? No. Sri Ramakrishna is coming to that. Sri Ramakrishna began to speak about the renunciation of action. Renunciation of action. But he also said that those who felt that they must do their duties should do them in a detached spirit. The best is to be completely free from any action. But is it possible? Sometimes some people, the retired people, they'll be sitting by the side of the road on a nicely and smoking a cigar, looking at the people, they are running here and there, and he knows that I am retired, I don't have any work. He is enjoying the smoke. But do you think he is not working? Of course he is working in thought. All his memories, sometimes the good memories, happy memories, and sometimes the painful memories, all passing through his mind. And when he is looking at the passers-by, the people, he is also comparing with them. Look at that man, how nice shoe he is wearing. A time was there, I used to use like that. So all the work is going on. Apparently he is sitting quiet. And sometimes people will go into the solitude, all alone, leaving. I always say, why you are going to the solitude? Have you ever tried that whether you can become calm and composed and happy among the people who are not agreeing with you? If they are not agreeing with you, immediately you have to go away from there. In the beginning it is all right. But when you develop the spirituality, what is that? That is clear understanding. What is that understanding? People are like this. I should not be disturbed by that. Na udbijjate loko. In the Bhagavad Gita there is a word. He is not disturbed by anything. People are criticizing, it is okay. Not listening to his word, okay, I will do it. But whatever I have to do, I will do. And if when I am successful, I know the God's willing. So I am not egoistic. I am not going to take the credit. But I have done it. I am not leaving it. Sometimes I have seen the people, they will be living with the animals, but not with people. Why? Ego clashes. Even the own children, they cannot live with the parents. Why? Ego clashes. It is my life, it is your life. What is my life? So this is the way we have to understand. Nothing wrong. There is society, modern society, because of the different type of economy. So it's okay. I'm not going against anything, but only thing those who are sincerely trying to develop the spiritual life, for them, the advice of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, you have to utilize the great force of ego, and then you should reach to your goal. What is the goal? Happiness. What is the goal? Bliss, joy. And how it is possible? Avoiding people, avoiding work, quietly sitting? No. You have to plunge into the action, but at the same time, you should not be disturbed by different reactions that will come out of that action. That is the heroic way of doing. So I don't care whether people are remembering me, appreciating me, or their assessment is different. I know for sure whatever was possible for me, I have done, and done for the betterment. I never disturb anyone. For the betterment of all, I have done it. In a detached way. In a detached way. That is the sadhana of the Ramakrishna mission monks. The Ramakrishna mission monks, even the brahmacharis, the novices, of course that time is there for them to practice quiet solitude, meditation, but the challenges that you should have to take, that is this. You have to understand the ego is the main problem. And I am going to work. In the work, when I say we should go to right, there will be people who always say no, left. Always they will say. And you have to adjust with them and then perform the work very nicely. And that is called yoga, karma, sukaushalam. Yoga, the union with God, how it is possible? Through karma. What is that karma? when you are performing it in a very clever way, sukaushalam, very clever way. What is that cleverness? I know that this is the way I am going to be not only successful, but it will be beneficial for the society. Before that, you are meditating, you are praying to God, you are feeling, God, shall I do it? You have given this opportunity. Does it mean that I am truly for this? I am talking about the monastic life of the Ramakrishna mission monks and the Sarada mission nuns. We don't have anything in this world. We don't want anything. But this moment, the world needs this. In the Europe and America, they are rich people, they are advanced people, but mentally they are suffering. They are disassociating. Each one is closing their doors and windows, and they like to just live with the movie in the TV. Is that the human life? Why don't you come out and mix? Why don't you talk? Why don't you mix with people? There will be differences, but at the same time, try to understand them and be with them and keeping your calm all the time. Why don't you take up the challenge? Mam anushmara yuddhacha. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna is mentioning to Arjuna, go on remembering me, and then plunge into the action like the war. It is not the ordinary thing. You are going and facing your enemies who are there, bloodthirsty. They like to kill you. Even you are fighting with them, you are protecting yourself, but at the same time you know all this I am doing at the behest of the God. God asked me to do it. I am free. This is the attitude of the military clan. The government has asked them to go and fight. They are fighting. I don't know that person. I am not having any personal issue with him. But I have to kill him because he is coming from the enemy country. And this is my order I have to carry out. I am not touched by anything. So this is so difficult. And when you are working in the household, can't we apply that? So this way, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is asking his very, very beloved disciple, Swami Vivekananda. But you know, unless you practice meditation, unless you practice japa, the repetition of the God's name, unless you are constantly contemplating on the spiritual life, you won't be able to do karma yoga. It is not only the karma, it is the yoga. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is asking Keshav Chandra Sen, and through him to all of us, you have to perform this. There was confusion. The people used to think Sri Ramakrishna never asked to do this. He was all the time asking the people to meditate, to give up everything and all that. And when Swami Vivekananda introduced that you must go and serve the poor people, take the education to those who are not having education, take the health care to those who needs that health care, and go and serve them, the monks and the nuns. They were supposed to be lonely, meditating, quiet, and no, you have to go. That is Ramakrishna mission. Then there was a lot of oppositions. Even the monks, the tradition of the monks. So all the other ashramas, the hierarchies and the traditions, they are telling what Vivekananda is teaching. Why the monks should work. Vivekananda told, if everything is God, those poor people, are they not God? They are the living gods and goddesses. So go and serve them. And when you are serving an image in the temple, even if you are giving the untasty food, the image will nothing, he won't say anything. And you are very happy. I am a great worshipper. I have given all rotten fruits to God, but God didn't say anything. And then afterwards all the best fruits you will eat and the sweet you will eat in the name of offering to God. But if you go to serve the living gods and goddesses, sitting over there on the street, they will throw it on your face. They will say, no, we are not going to take it. And you have to be humble because you know this is spoiled food. I cannot give it to the living gods and goddesses. So I was actually deceiving myself when I was worshipping a doll in an image. But when I am going to worship the living God, that is the challenge. Can you take up the challenge? Swami Vivekananda said, can you take the position of a giver? What is that giver? A doctor who is pouring the life-giving medicine into the mouth of a child who is kicking him. The baby doesn't know. He doesn't like to take the medicine, but the doctor knows it is necessary for the baby. The baby will be kicking the doctor, but the doctor will affectionately put the drop. That is called karma yoga. People won't notice it. People won't appreciate it. But you are going on doing and constantly remembering God. So this, the teaching of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. After attaining knowledge, one cannot do much work. The work means when I am going to reach to the goal. But when I have already reached to the goal, I don't need that. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gives the example how long you need a map, a road map. I have to go from here to there. Before this GPS system, there was only the road maps. The people used to use those road maps to reach from one place to another place. After reaching to that place, that map is not necessary. You can fold it and keep it in your pocket. Maybe you can give it to somebody else for his future the use. But that is over. Similarly, we have to go to God. And how we will go? We have to cross the boundary of the wall, a fence, terrible fence of ego. Now, how to scale that fence, the ego? By taking an attitude towards God. And best attitude is servant attitude. I am humble. Whatever you say, oh my Lord, I will do that. So by that way, when I am doing, I am completely at the feet of that God. Prabhu mere abaguna chitana dharo. In Hindi they are singing. The one lady, she was singing. The Swami Vivekananda refused to listen to her song because in those days it was not actually customary for the holy people to listen to the singers or the lady singers like that. But the lady was very devoted. When she saw Swami Vivekananda, she saw the Shiva and she wanted to sing a song for the Shiva. But Swami Vivekananda looked at the lady and he got up and was going away. And without heart, she poured out her devotion through a beautiful song. Prabhu mere abaguna chitana dhara. Oh my Lord, don't look at my faults. Samadarshi hai nama tihara. You are the one, a monk. You are having the equal eye. You don't differentiate between this and that. That is you. Chahe to par kara. If you think, please help me to cross this ocean of samsara. The Vivekananda turned back and came and sat and listened. Not only that, he learned that song. He referred and sang in many places. It has become very famous. It's one of the very famous song in the Ramakrishna tradition. Prabhu mere abaguna chitana dhara. That is called sadhana. Every day we should sing to the God. The God, I am weak. I don't know what I am supposed to do. I am constantly tempted by your things. You have kept so many things in this world. So naturally, and you have given me the eye, the tongue, the ear, the nose and the touch, they are always going to enjoy that. Please, please, please help me. And as because I am weak, don't discard me, because you are God, all loving. So this is the attitude. I am humble at your feet. And if you please help me, I am sure I can finish the journey. The journey that has started from you. Then I forgot you, came out of you. And now I have understood through your grace that I should go back to the source, so the round trip will be completed. I started my journey from the God, and I complete my journey into God, merging into God. So becoming God, that is the ultimate goal. And what is that God? Ananda. That is all blessedness. That is all happiness. No desire, no ego, no aversion, no attraction, but a peace and happiness constantly. So this Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning that after attaining knowledge one cannot do much work, because he has already reached to that point. What is the necessary? The Triloko. Why so sad? And Pauhari Baba was a great yogi, and yet he reconciled people's quarrels, even lawsuits. He's given an example of a Pauhari Baba. Pauhari, Pau means the air. Ahari means he used to eat the air, he used to survive only eating air, as if. Not that this is the way the people they mention. Actually he used to eat less maybe, that's why they gave. Now how can a person survive only eating air? No, that is not. But sometimes the people's peculiarity, they like to see some peculiarity in a holy person. The holy person is not wearing the shoe, holy person is not using the clothes, holy person is not the saving, holy person is not eating, then holy person do not sleep, then all sorts of things they always imagine. It has nothing to do with that. At the time of controlling the emotions, controlling the different type of the attractions, it's some physical these things people should do. But that is not the goal. That is only the means. As a child is going to the school bag full of books, and then the water bottle and this, that, and also the tiffin box, they will go to the school. And when they go to the colleges, they don't carry those things. It is not necessary, because the knowledge has already come to them. They carry a notebook only to note down something. Nowadays only the computer. They will take the computer, they will read from there, they will answer from there, they will note down over there, and only small computer, the laptop. It has changed. No, in the olden days we used to take the books with us and the notebook and the pen, and you people nowadays are not taking, you won't get the knowledge. No, not like that. But it has changed, system has changed. But the knowledge is the same. And more intricate knowledge, more advanced type of knowledges. It goes on, it changes, but knowledge is there. If a student is not acquiring knowledge, then he is not a student. And if a devotee or a spiritual seeker is not developing spiritual life, then he is not a devotee. He is not a spiritual seeker. He is not an aspirant. So this, if we understand, then many other things, whether these or that, it goes away. If that person has realized Brahman, then he is not having any desire. And when there is no desire at all, but only prayer for the development of others, for the benefit of others, he is a realized soul. Whether he is having beard or not, whether he is wearing shoe or not, whether he is eating these or not, don't bother about all those. These are all external things. But the main thing is that man completely satisfied Is that person is completely satisfied? Is his or her the desire completely vanished? No personal desire, nothing. But love pouring out for each and every one. There is no border. Oh, these are my countrymen I should love. These are my followers I should love and not others. These are my linguistic people, so I should love not others. These are my religious group. If it is there, he has just taken one step maybe. But it is not complete journey. Complete journey means equal. Why? Because God is all pervading. God is everywhere. God is everything. Ishavassamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena taktena bhunjita ma gridakasya dhanam. So why you are hankering for the things over here in this world? What is there except God? Nothing. And what is that God? Is unselfishness and love. So this if we can understand, then at least in the name of religion, all these bigotries will go away. All this narrowness will go away. And it will be only the love and unselfishness. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is mentioning this. And when he said the Trailokya, he was also one of the teachers in the Brahma Samaj. And they were learned people, but not that way spiritually advanced, but good people, of course. They used to come to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, they used to learn from him, discuss. So whatever he knew, he said. As Sri Ramakrishna said, God is compassionate. Some Sikh devotee came. Before that, his master said, when the Trailokya said, why so sad? Pawari Baba was a great yogi, when yet he reconciled people's quarrels, even lawsuits. Sri Ramakrishna said that after the realization of God, the action, the renunciation of action, about that he was telling, he cannot do much work. And the work is that selfish attitude that work. He gave the example of Pawari Baba. Sri Ramakrishna, see how, though he is going against Sri Ramakrishna's idea, he was not angry. He said, yes, that is true. Dr. Durgacharan was a great drunkard. He used to drink 24 hours a day, but he was precise in his actions. He did not make any mistake in treating his patients. There is no harm in doing work after attainment of bhakti, but it is very hard. One needs intense tapasya. You are giving the example of the Pawari Baba, that Pawari Baba did intense tapasya. Then only he was doing like that. Otherwise it is very impossible. It is God who does everything. We are His instruments. This is the statement of fact. We are His instruments. So we are only performing, doing those things which He, the God, the consciousness, wants us to do. We are thinking, I am doing. No. The time and the situation and the place, and it becomes so that I am bound to do. And as if somebody is just doing through me. But people always think that I am doing it. So one should be always alert about it. I am the servant of God. I am the son of God. I am the child of God. I am the friend of God. And I am doing what God asked me to do. And I am always satisfied. I am always happy. Why? I am doing God's job only. So this attitude gives a great peace and humbleness. We will conclude over here, friends, and let us conclude with this stotra, with this pranam mantra. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhakta Bhaktanukampa Dhrita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.